Hello, my name is Akita Akari Aurora, and welcome to my Divine Reminder Oracle readings. This reading is for our beautiful Scorpios. And we're coming up under I think a Scorpio full moon pretty soon, right? So let's see the divine reminders. Scorpios will definitely be activated this month. Let's see what divine reminders are here for you this month as we manifest, meditate during this wonderful blooming month of May. Divine reminders are messages for your soul and messages also for your ego and you, so that you and your ego and your soul could come into alignment, right? These are divine reminders that nourish your soul, help you to see your authenticity, to remind your soul, remind you of your soul purpose and your mission, why you're here, nourishing your journey, sparking you on your journey. Actually, the divine reminders, was a divine reminder to my soul. And I kept on saying divine reminders. Oh, that's a divine reminder. And my soul was like, hello, we're giving you something. So I said, divine reminders. Wow, isn't that a nice series for oracle readings? So it was birthed. Okay, so our oversoul is always giving us messages and reminders, helping us to be on our purpose, right? To follow our mission and to activate our own authenticity in a way. So I'm going to look at 3 decks. I'm shuffling, telling you Scorpios about this beautiful reading. But I'm going to let you know also what decks we're using. So it's May. It's a very potent week. We have the eclipse tomorrow. We had the 1st of May, Beltane. We had today, the 4th, which is a powerful, energetic day as well. May the 4th be with you, right? A lot of potent energy. Very, very powerful activating week. This first week in May, we starting it off with a bang, right? And then during May, we're going through Mercury retrograde. We have the Sun and Mercury together, and then we have Jupiter and Mercury together, right? So all of that astrology is really, not shaking us up, but shaking us up and spilling us out to where we need to be, right? So when the Sun and Mercury are together, remember Mercury is all about mental, all about our minds. It's an air sign, but it's all about how we're thinking and our mind, right? So as we're with when Sun and Mercury are together, we're going internally and we're contemplating and we're reflecting, right? So that's the meditation. That's the big meditation part of May, in order for us to reflect, to tap into our inner world, to connect, right? To breathe and to see with clarity once we have those moments of stillness. And then we have Mercury going conjuncting with Jupiter. Now that's when we expand out, right? So that's when we're going to expand out. And I think Mercury goes direct on May 14th. So that's going to be the beginning of our, hey, we were still, and now we thought about what we needed to do. We had those meditative days. We reflected. We got those downloads. And now we're on our mission, right? So May, like I said, a very potent month, right? A very activating month. A month for us to pay attention, be aware, because a lot of the stuff that happens this month is really going to set some trajectory for you for the rest of the year and for a couple of years. But I'm a girl about cycles. And once you wake up, there's opportunity. So, we always can shift gears and get into our balance, you know, and get more balanced and harmonized. So we never miss anything, right? It's just about divine timing and divine order. And these are some divine reminders. All right, so we're going to use 3 decks, the Starseed Oracle. We're using the Cosmic Journey to get some reminders as we're on our cosmic journey. Starseed Oracle tends to kind of give us a little deep dive and show us what we really need to work on in order to make that leap. And we have the light activation deck showing us exactly how we are being activated this month. All right, so let's start for the Scorpios with the light activations. A lot is happening and a lot is going around us to see, but we really just need to observe it, right? Really just need to observe it and weave ourselves around it more than within it. Right? It's like the old lady sitting on the porch just watching everything but not getting involved. That's really what we need to do. Be like the old lady in your neighborhood who knows everything from her porch. Really starting to write our new chapters, right? So it's important that we know what roles we're playing, or decide the role that we want to play in this brand new book, not even chapter, this brand new book of existence. What role we want to play. Like if you were auditioning for a blockbuster and somebody said, hey, I know this movie is going to be a hit. What character do you want to play? Isn't that a beautiful contemplation? Maybe we should all think about that this month, you know? A blockbuster hit is coming out, movie. You get the opportunity to play any role you want to. What role would you play? Decide. All right, Scorpios, let's see. Scorpios are very transformational people. So maybe that's why this is being prompted to me as I shuffle for Scorpios, right? All right, let's see how you Scorpios are being activated this month, and let's see what divine reminders Spirit has for you. Scorpios, let's see. Order of Melchizedek. Yay! I like it. All right, and that is about being embraced by the light, missions uncovered, and don't give up. Good, Scorpios, good. So embrace it. Embrace all that you are, your full self, your spiritual self, your physical self. Yeah, Scorpios, because we know Scorpios are, like I said, transformational, dynamic, physical, but also very, very tapped into their intuition and very intuitive, right? So embrace all that you are, Scorpio, your spiritual being, your beautiful spiritual history, as well as all of that physicality. Merge it all into one. All right, your mission is uncovered. And don't give up now. Beautiful message. All right, let's see what beautiful divine reminders are here for you, Scorpio, for your cosmic journey. For your cosmic journey. This is the first round of divine reminders. I think I'm going to get something that I can put right here. Or here, or here, or here, or here. That holds up the cards. All right. All right, so what divine reminders do we have? Dynamic Scorpios. All right, let us see. Divine reminders for Scorpios. Divine reminders for Scorpios. Divine reminders for Scorpios. One more time. Divine reminders for Scorpios. Thank you. Divine reminder for Scorpio. This says trust and act accordingly. All right, Scorpio, because you know Scorpio always has a little sting to it. Trust and act accordingly. It's almost like the message of today, my card of the day, which was actions speak loudly. And then in my personal meditation on it, I spoke about how our intentions require our actions always. And whenever we are trying to manifest something, you know, we always have to remember, yeah, we can speak things into existence, but how more powerful we are when what we're speaking and what we're doing is actually aligned, you know, and that helps us to manifest what we want because we're not basically self-sabotaging our spoken word with our actions. So this says to trust and to act accordingly. So again, trust in what you're doing, trust in what you're wishing and desiring for, and trust that those things will come to you. So if you trust that, you know, you're going to get what you want, that you could, yeah, that you deserve it, that you're worthy of it, all this thing, all of that stuff, if you really trust that, then your actions will be in alignment with that trust and with those words, you know, and with those goals and achievements that we're trying to get to. Our actions must always support our initiatives. You know, simple as that. All right, so those two, those two are nice. Now let's see what this the star the star seed deck. The star seed deck is go deep. I'm just realizing how deep the star seed deck is, and this is number 30. I didn't mention that. This is card number 30, trusting and acting accordingly. All right, so this star seed deck goes deep. All right. Like, all right, now let me tell you what you really need. Let me tell you what I'm really trying to say here. So let's see what message comes out from the star seed deck. Maybe what shadow work needs to be done, what karmic relationships we need to look at more closely to see where we are amongst that, on that journey, right? So what anger issues we need to at the bottom of the deck. Listen, this card has been popping out. And as soon as I said it was at the bottom of the deck. So when cards are at the bottom of the deck, it's like what you don't see that might be underlying. And I just happened to say anger, and it was just like I could see it, and it was right there. So that's something to just be aware of, Scorpio. It's not your card, but be aware of your anger issues, right? Look at look at the Cancer and the Leo, because that came out. This card came out for Cancer and Leo. So take a look at those readings. Or if you have Cancer and Leo in your chart, definitely take a look at those readings. I'm also guiding people too. You know, we're in this upswing. We're in a upward spiral. We are moving up, like it or not. We're moving up. So I think I've been looking at it over the last couple months. I've just been like, just looking at my natal chart differently and looking at it with different lenses and looking at planets and houses that I didn't really pay attention to before. So I'm guiding everybody, as I've been guided, to look at my north node, look at my ascendant, you know. The ascendant sign I know well, but look at your north node and look at your rising. Rising is ascendant, not north node, and your sun, your north node, and your rising. Look at those three as a, like usually I would look at my sun, my moon, and my rising. Now I'm like, okay, look at my sun, my rising, and my north node, right? Also, you know, because we are moving again, we're going to the next level and we're going through a lot of heart expansion. So basically a lot of healing. Healing comes in so many forms. Healing is literally, hey, that doesn't hurt me anymore. My wound is now healed, and we have so many wounds individually and a beautiful sacred wound collectively. So everything that we do in order to heal our wound, heal our triggers, everything that we do in Scorpio, about this because you're that sting that cures, that carries the medicine for its own curing. So the more healing we are able to do, the more coming into wholeness we are able to do. It really just serves us and humanity, right? So I don't know where all that came from, but anyway. It always shows up for a reason. Let's see what divine reminders are here for Scorpio before I get too off track. Let's see what divine reminders are here. Right, because this deck goes deep. So let's see what divine reminders the Starseed deck wants to give our dynamic. I keep on saying dynamic for you Scorpios, for you dynamic Scorpios. Like I said, there's a full moon in Scorpio this month, so a lot more probably will be revealed to you in order for you to take advantage of, heal, come into wholeness with, release, call in something, We have the beautiful eclipse tomorrow night. All right. Okay. So Scorpio, let's see. Scorpio. Okay. Bye. Now it's Scorpio. Karmic relations. And this was for Libra. All right. So, and I shuffled and that still came back. So that's interesting. All right. I told you that Starseed deck, it goes into like, okay, all is nice, but let me tell you what you need to look at. All right, so this is divine reminders for your soul, right? So sometimes that shadow work has to be done, right? Not a bad thing. The shadow leads you to your gift. The shadows lead us to our treasures. When we say, you know what, I'm just gonna face it. I'm just gonna look into this beautiful darkness and find my treasure and find my gift, right? It serves us so well. It empowers us, it expands us, right? So karmic relationships, right? Scorpio, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflicts. So this is just again, allowing yourself to move through those moments. Well, and not to run from them, but to sit with them and allow it to bring change to you and allow them to bring you to a new level of yourself for growth, more growth and expansion, right? Not to ignore the things that cycle back into your life and learning how to transform. As you know, Scorpio, we are here to transform. But as we transform, those things that are cycling back to us, we are able to now step up and deal with them in a completely different way because of the transformation that we have gone through. So that's what this card talks about, specifically reminding you that, hey, when the wounds show up, when the cycle is repetitive, guiding you to what to do, that actually is not a moment for you to to sting, but for you to really grow in those moments, right? So that remembering that the conflicts actually are that signaling for growth. All right, so let's get into the cards and see what the book says with these messages. But just from my glancing over divine reminders, we have the order of Melchizedek, embracing your light, your mission is uncovered, trust and act accordingly. and karmic relationships, soul growth. Uh, it's a message that came through already for the day, but I would say trust everything. To just sum it up, like you were born for, reminding you that you were born for the path. Yeah. You're born for the path that you're on. And sometimes our paths look difficult, but your divine reminder is that this is why you are here. Everything that you are, you have everything really to navigate through the challenges. And sometimes we just need to be reminded of that. Like sometimes we say, well, why is this my life? Because you are equipped to conquer and master this. And sometimes we don't realize how equipped we are. We don't realize our own capacity because there's something within us speaking to us saying, you ain't made for this. You can't handle all of this. You ain't supposed to be doing this. But in fact, we are. We are that large. We do carry that depth. We are that mighty and that courageous, and we have that strength to hold, you see? But we keep on saying, no, 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 this ain't for me, when really you were born for it. So I think this is the reminder that Scorpios need right now. You were born for this, right? So don't quit. Embrace the light of who you are. Of these screens. Embrace the light. Embrace the light of who you are, Scorpio. All of you. Don't play small no more. Don't play I can't. This is too much. No, it's actually you. It's actually just for you. But we need you to see yourself bigger, see yourself stronger, see yourself more, connected or whatnot, so that you can actually step into all of your roles and all of your moments, right? Trust and act accordingly. So tap into your intuition and again, trust and act accordingly. Trust who? Trust what? You. Trust in yourself. Trust in the divine nature of everything. Trust in love and life and balance and harmony and divine order and divine timing, that everything that's going on is supposed to be going on, right? And act accordingly to that trust that you have, right? Number 33, right? And then the next message, again, this the Orion, the soul growth, right? How we're dealing with conflict, right? So all of that weaves together, and they saying to trust and act accordingly. Trust in the divine nature of stuff, trust in goodness, trust in the higher perspective. Trust that no matter what happens, everything will be okay, and that you can get through everything that looks like, oh, this is impossible. You were made for the impossible. All right, let's get into the book. Books. Let's see what the books want to say that I haven't. Okay, Order of Melchizedek. All right. And I'm just gonna go into briefly the information about these, because it's not about them, it's about you. But I do want everybody to kind of have their connection with the energy that they want you to connect with. And then I'll also read the connect and the message, but just some brief information about the order of Melchizedek. All right. So Melchizedek, pronounced Melchizedek, whose name means king of righteousness, is the first high priest mentioned in the Bible, the one who initiated all the great teachers that followed him. He is mentioned in several Abrahamic texts, including the Dead Sea Scrolls and also the Kabbalist Zohar. He is an ancient gatekeeper of the light who is dedicated to helping all those walking the spiritual path to take the initiatory steps to align with the light. Align, Scorpio, align with your light and take your spiritual path on, right? Remember, like I said, Scorpio is a big part of you, is that spiritual part, so embrace that divinity within you. Okay, this is your divine reminder to embrace your divinity within you and use that divinity, your light, in order to move through these karmic relationships. Okay, the best way to describe the great being is a wizard. When you invoke him, you will feel the presence of a loving and angelic grandfather who wants to guide you to your greatness. Okay, how do you connect? When you're feeling challenged by something that feels like a big life lesson, call in the order of Melchizedek. Light bearers, angelic beings, and cosmic guides, thank you for enveloping me in your brilliant, crystal clear light. Okay, so that's what you say to connect. And like I said too, in all the other ones, if a card comes up and you're not familiar with them, do your own research, because everybody has their own story and everybody learns different aspects of the same thing. So this might be your first time hearing about this energy, and everything is an energy. I know, especially in the religious and the spiritual world, we really like to put energies in and embody them, but for me, I'm very comfortable with just taking the energy. I don't need the embodiment, because I that's how I learn with a lot of spirituality. I just receive the energy of it. The image, the name, the all of that. I just try the essence of it, right? So read about Melchizedek, and really, if you can sift through the details, and this is with all of these deities and energies and all that type of stuff, Arcturian energy, Palladian energy, all of this stuff. If you can sift through the details, and religions, if we can sift through the details and just get the essence of the thing, attach to the essence of the thing, let the essence of it speak to you, and you get to learn so much more, as opposed to getting caught up in all the details and all the history, right? So I'm sorry, but that message, I guess, had to come through too. All right, so your message is: you have learned so much and are now recognizing all the great lessons your experiences and challenges have brought you. The order of Melchizedek is coming to you today to encourage you to continue on this pathway and not to give up. Even in moments of darkness and fear, there is the opportunity for you to share your light. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it's imperative for you to know you're not alone. Light is with you and within you, and by invoking spiritual support, you will be able to muster up the strength, courage, and focus you need to surmount whatever challenges you face. That's important. I got some Scorpio friends, and sometimes they need to be reminded, hey, call for help. So the divine reminder wants you Scorpios to remember, call for help. Tap into your spiritual team, tap into your light, especially when those moments come where you feel challenged or conflict or, wounded. Hey, tap into your spiritual light. Call on them, call on your team. And that's so important to realize, because when we call on our team, we're also realizing and that we're not alone, that there is a wider existence, and that we not actually, so if you're doing everything by yourself, it's because you haven't tapped into your spiritual team. You haven't asked for help. And in like the spiritual world, we really have to connect with them. You see, they're always observing us, but once you make that connection with them, oh, they show up in a real way, and that you notice that, hey, my team's working with me. This ain't just me by myself here doing this. There's a whole team, a whole universal team out there working with my plans and my initiatives and the things that I'm asking for. And that makes us more dynamic and powerful, right? So divine reminder, Scorpios, you got a mighty spiritual team. Call on them. They want to help you, right? And tap into your light, because your team, your light, tap into it, embrace that, widen that, and don't quit, widen up your world, widen up your, like, spread your wings, Scorpio. They say the Scorpio was the snake that turned into the eagle, or in some traditions was the eagle. Yeah, something like that. Yes, so Scorpio, time to fly. Spread, open up, and call in, not just time to fly, but open up and call in your whole self, your spiritual team, your inner light, your spiritual light. Call that in, and don't forget to call it in. That's just a reminder. They just want you to know that, hey, you got a mighty spiritual team with you. Call in your light, embrace who you are, call us in, let us help you. Don't forget it. You're not alone. Okay. So that's one. Let's go into the next one, which is for your cosmic journey. Let's see what messages, divine reminders. It's number 30, trust and act. Again, trust and act accordingly. And you see this third eye. So that's like your intuition. They say trust and act accordingly to your divine nature. That intuition, that sharp intuition that you got, you come from the order of Melchizedek. You joking. As we say in the Bahamas, you joking, man. Right? So let's see what this is like, when you're powerful, but you're not using your powers. I think that's the message that that these spirits want you Scorpios to hear. You ain't using this divine intuitive power that you have. Use it. You're a Scorpio. Let's see. How would you act if you absolutely knew the universe had even more in store for you than you could imagine? I said it. What would be your next step now? Whatever we think we want typically comes from our small selves, and that's not always in alignment with our divine destiny unfolding. This is exactly what they're talking about, Scorpio. Think back to when you've made significant leaps. Where did the support come from? Consider what kind of allies, resources, and even synchronistic opportunities have opened up only after you've acted. Make those connections. The universe is always nudging us forward and revealing itself in our crazy ideas and perfect nature. Trust. Trust your exploration. Trust your experiences. Trust those synchronicities. Trust your, listen, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let me see how this works out. I have no idea what's going to happen. Let me do it anyway. I trust me. I trust my artistry. I trust my crazy ideas. I trust my love of color. Whatever it is, it's gonna get me somewhere. Right? Cosmic catalyst, Scorpio. What would I do right now if I fully trusted that I am supported no matter what? Now, this is deep, deep trust they're asking you to have with the universe. Deep trust. That's what they say. Trust and act accordingly. If you know the universe got your back, what you gonna do? In the Libra one, the same question. That's why y'all end up getting the same card. I said, if somebody came up to you and said, so contemplate on this too, Scorpios. If someone came up to you yet tomorrow and said, hey, I am writing a blockbuster movie, or I'm producing a blockbuster movie. I know this is going to be a hit. And you can have any single role you want to in this movie. What role would you choose to play for yourself? This is really the moment we're all at. A blockbuster hit is coming to the theater near you. You get to choose what role you're going to play in this movie. So Scorpios, start thinking about it. What role are you playing? Start writing it. Start writing your role. Start acting your role out, So, and then your cosmic chat boxes. Research one step you can take toward a goal that you have and put it on your calendar. So divine reminders want you to act on it. All right. If you've been thinking about some stuff over the last couple of weeks or months, divine reminders saying it's time to act on this stuff. Now let's go. All right. And one more, because we got to have a talk about the soul growth. And the polarities and the conflicts that you're facing, right? So let's look at those and let's see what divine reminders that Spirit has for you as you move through those moments. And we all do, right? But the more clearing we do, we get to move through them smoother and in a more soothing way that helps everybody, right? So let's get some advice, all right, for these karmic relationships that we still got to deal with. And maybe because I said I like this card, it came back again. All right, so it says, the constellation Orion is thought by many to have been a place of great polarity and eventual unity. Some believe that many starseeds who were part of the cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships with Orion times, from Orion times. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this, conflict can also result in unity and growth. Too many misunderstandings are caused when we don't open our heart and mind and set things from a different point of view. When we go with reactive second-guessing mode instead of gathering the courage to open our heart, we should admit that we may have reacted because of our own woundings and then find mutual ground. And it happens. So guess what? When you realize that, then say, okay, hold on. Let me take a moment. I just reacted. Let me sit with myself a little bit so I could respond from a more expanded mind and open heart. I do that all the time. When I catch myself, I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. Or sometimes I get some good friends that say, oh, no, 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 no. Usually Scorpios and Virgos. Right? My check myself friends, right? And they're like, no, 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 right? And then you got to go back and have those conversations with an open heart and a new perspective. It's a real thing that we have to do is check in ourselves, right? This is how we grow, because this card is about soul growth. So it's not that we're perfect and we don't have these moments, but actually the more powerful thing is the awareness and the self-awareness. So when we do have these moments, we know how to act accordingly. Right? Okay, so we're all innocent children looking to be seen, understood, and cherished. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is to grow further apart. And yet, that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react and take things personally. It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through the conflict. It's through relationships that we grow the most. And I'll say it in this video as well, because I said it in the Libra one. You know, we have this thing about cutting our karmic bonds, right? And cutting our cords. I'm a shaman, so I've done cord cutting ceremonies and services for people too. And I've had my cord cuts with people that I thought I needed to cut cords with. But I will say that I've realized as it just being a human that guess what? We're always connected to everybody all the time. And there's no really real way you could really cut your cord with somebody, because as energy beings, we're always connected. We're always going to connect. And what I've learned that really serves me more is, yeah, I can still do a cord cutting because it's all ceremonial, which means it's just for your brain to start. There's ceremonies. They speak to our cerebellum, right? They speak to our brain, cerebrum, right? So they're speaking to our head. They help to see these rituals into our reality, right? That's why we do ceremonies. That's why there's a church. That's why there's birthday parties. That's why there are funerals and graduations. These are ceremonies that help to cement things in our cerebrum. All right. So where was I going with that? Right. So as I have now matured, and I'm not even maturity, yeah, maturity, heart expansion, seeing things from a different perspective, that I'm not really cutting cords with anybody, but I'm actually just healing the relationship. And when I look at it from the perspective of growing closer to the person and healing the wound, as opposed to cutting the cord, I have created more peace and wholeness and love in my life, you know. So it's just something, it's just my perspective and it's my experience, you know, and it's something to think of as we move through our karmic relationships, you know. How do we are we cutting cords, or are we healing the wound that binds us? And I think that's just, I mean, I didn't say it until I just said it just now. Yeah, but it's definitely something that I've had to do. I've had to heal the wound as opposed to cut the cords with people. Some people I guess I have cut cords with, but some people I've had to heal the wound, you know, and it's two different, it's a different strategy. It really is, you know. So this is something to reflect and meditate on, Scorpio, as you go through this beautiful month of May. So how can you soften your heart and drop your defenses enough to see things from a different point of view? How can you see the innocence of all involved? How can you learn to see the similarities rather than the differences? Starseed Soul Inquiry, Scorpio. Which relationships do you find the most challenging? How can you see things from a different perspective? And how are you being called to allow growth through conflict? And I would say growth for you, as well as growth for the one whom you are in conflict with. And I think that's the difference between cutting the cord and healing the wound. Because if I'm wounded, so is the other person wounded, especially if there's conflict there. So when we heal the wound, we're not just healing our wound, we're healing both of the wounds so that it can grow into something new, as opposed to just cutting the cord and saying, you know, I'm gonna cut this cord. I'm gonna work on my wound. I don't care if you're working on yours, but whatever. This cord is cut. We now are disconnected. There's a difference there. All right. No wrongs or right. It's just, I guess we have to know who, when, what, how. All right. So these are your divine reminders, Scorpio. Trust and act. I think that's just the main message. Trust all that you are and all that this universe is, and act accordingly. All right, there's your divine reminder, Scorpio. I hope this serves you. Bye. My name is Akita Akari Aurora. Until next month. Bye.